Is the village of Mahnomen, and that was platted in 1851. And in 1857, the county of Mahnomen was created. That lasted until about 1879 when Mahnomen became Fridley. In 1949, the citizens voted to incorporate Fridley as a village instead of being a township. And the vote was 431 to 343 to incorporate as a village. However, Northern Pump, the largest employer in Fridley, they had some concerns about Fridley becoming a village because there were some huge tax implications involved. So they took the so-called village of Fridley to court, and in 1951, the Supreme Court of Minnesota ruled that indeed the village of Fridley had done everything correctly and the village of Fridley was created. In 1957, Fridley became a city. 1974, Fridley celebrated its 25th silver anniversary, and the Fridley 49ers started in 1974 as well. In 1999 was Fridley's 50th anniversary, and that's when the contents of the stuff was put into the time capsule. So today, Mayor Lund is going to open the time capsule and find out what the heck's in there, and then we're going to start collecting new stuff for a new time capsule that'll be sealed this September. And we'll be opening that in 2049 on Fridley's 100th birthday.
All right. Hey, thanks, Mark. Great. Well, welcome everyone, and great little history lesson there. Maybe a test afterwards. I don't know. So, Mark, you want me to open it first, or talk a little bit about?
You talk first. That's right.
Okay. So, what I did bring, and it's up to the Historical Society what they want to do. I thought they might want to put a few new things in there, so I brought a pretend hockey puck. Now, the significance of a hockey puck is the new city hall is located on the former site of Columbia Arena, right? So they wanted to commemorate some of the history of Columbia Arena. In fact, there is a piece of public art in City Hall. It's a long, tall item, and it says incomparable. And that word is made from the letters from Columbia Arena, which were those big metal letters that were lighted up for many years on top of the outside of the building. So they did have to cheat a little bit, and one letter wasn't in Columbia Arena, and to get incomparable, they had to manufacture one, and you can't tell the difference, quite frankly, so somebody did a good job. So there is some art available. Anyways, that's what this is to commemorate the history of Columbia Arena, as we probably all are aware of. I also took the liberty of having a picture of the current city council that might bear some interest 25 years later. And I put in, this is the current Fridley newsletter that everybody's supposed to get this by mail once every 2 months. And this current issue talks about things that are currently going on. There's the schedule of 49er days, which is starting today, and they're also, at my interest, most of you probably know by now that I'm not running for re-election, and after the end of this year, I'm going to be retiring as your mayor. But that doesn't mean as one door closes, another one opens. And in this article, it talks a little bit about the Fridley Art Initiative gaining ground. I have already applied for an IRS Foundation designation, and we already have in hand an anonymous donor for $100,000 to put money into that foundation, because quite frankly, if you're going to have public art, that isn't cheap, and nothing happens without money. So the foundation's purpose will be to raise significant funds to hopefully have numerous art pieces in Fridley over some time. There's plenty of places for it, and we have actually established I've got a board of 7 people for this foundation once it gets IRS designation, and also we have formed a new commission for the city, and that is the Fridley Public Arts Commission. So we now have a 6th commission of 7 members for that. Their job will be to advise the city council on what the council ultimately will approve, locations, and what type of art that they're going to allow, and that type of stuff. So in any regard, I thought there would be some interest on some of those pieces that might be opened up. I can tell you that just a little bit about myself. This was my safe at one time. 25 years ago, I donated because I knew that the Historical Society didn't really have money for, time capsules are expensive, hermetically sealed and all that kind of stuff. Well, this isn't quite that great, but hopefully it worked and nothing's disintegrated in it. So it was kind of interesting. That was even before I was mayor. This is my 24th year, and I have loved the job, quite frankly. Don't ask me why. The best excuse I give people, and they say, who would want that job, and why are you crazy enough to do it? And I said, I'm living hell now, so I know I'm going to heaven. So that's the best thing I could come up with. So, but it's been enjoyable. It's not always fun because you don't meet the happy people. They're happy, so they don't call and say, hey, we're happy, thanks, Mayor. So I hear from a lot of the people that aren't happy, but that's part of the job. It goes with the territory. I've rather enjoyed it. I can be known as a bulldog sometimes if I think somebody's right, they've been wronged. I'm tenacious and I'll fight for it. If I tell them, if I don't agree with them, I tell them that too. So I think most people just prefer to be transparent, be open, be honest, and although I get accused of being on the take at time to time, but that's for another story and another day. But anyways, with that, I'm going to open the safe. I don't know the combination offhand, so I'll need some assistance. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. You don't want to give this up to anybody.
So this chair might be easier to get back.
I got a stethoscope.
Yeah, I hope it works. I haven't opened it in 25 plus years, so bear with me. You can read this. I'm going to make sure it's clear. Sure I'm going around the right amount of times here.
That's part of the history, is using an actual lock like that.
I'm getting there. Hang with me. Yes. Actually, I'm surprised and impressed at myself that it opened on the first one. Mark, you want to help me with pulling some of this stuff out of here? Looks like we got a lot of leftover buttons that didn't sell.
Yeah, look at that. All right. From 1999, we have a bunch of 30-year buttons.
Yeah. 25. Right? All those didn't sell? We're on it, people. Okay, what do we got here? Some paraphernalia from Jan cleansing from the bank.
All right, from Northwest Bank.
This is my son's favorite place that closed up. It was a very bad day for him. Old Country Buffet. Young kids, they like, instant gratification with food right there, all you can eat, lots of desserts. He hated it when they closed.
Sure. Sit down there. No, I'd be in your way.
This must be something from back Star Wars.
Star Wars, all
Must be
right.
from what, McDonald's or something?
Taco Bell. Yeah.
Okay, there you go, Taco Bell.
Oh, happy birthday, Fridley song from the Kids Key Club.
All right, might have to play that later on. Library kids are cool. From the library. Envelope something in there. Here's the royalty from back there. I can pass this around. The old float that we haven't used in the last half a dozen years, but
And the envelope was a sandburr.
nice.
Wow.
Friendly flower.
Lots of books.
Lots of books, yeah.
Oh, there's my library card. Here is our community education program from back
Yeah.
then. This is the movies that were playing back there, Matrix. I think this is the original one. One Man's Full Life. This is Earl Bakken, founder of Medtronics. You folks know the history of Medtronics. Started out of a garage in Columbia Heights. Earl Bakken's home at the time. He made the first pacemaker. The first pacemaker didn't go in your body. It was sat on a nightstand, and it was a piece of equipment, so you really couldn't move around with it. So it's come a long ways over the years with a implantable device and stuff. I had the great fortune, about a dozen years ago or so, when I was never been to Hawaii. I took my wife to Hawaii, and I was the mayor then, and I called up Medtronics. They said, yeah, call his secretary out in Hawaii, because he lives in Hawaii, the big main island. And it was the easiest thing. I called her up, she answered the phone. Nowadays, you got to text anybody if you want to get a hold of anybody, right? And she said, yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays, he accepts people in there. So we went out there, and I was told that, he's a pretty introverted gentleman. So it's tough to carry a conversation. I told my wife we'll be lucky to be here for half an hour. We were there for 3.5 hours. That guy is very passionate, and he's got a lot going on in his life. So he did most of the talking, which maybe some of you might think is a little unusual for me. But he has a bucket list, and I mean, he's got it in a bound book. All the things that he's accomplished, the things he's working on, and all the stuff he has yet to do. And I did make comment, you're not getting any younger. You better get going on some of that stuff you haven't started. But he's passed away now. But was a great gentleman to talk with, and gave me a tour of the hospital that he actually founded out on the Big Island. Pretty interesting guy. So it was one of the highlights of my trip by any means. So you want to share those?
Yeah.
A brand new phone book from '99. These are about worthless now because everybody's gone to cell phones and they don't publish those.
This is from Woodcrest Church. We have a Nelson's Decorating 50-year flyer. For the park information packet, and Totino Grace School.
In here, it must be Tom Brokaw. Most of you probably remember Tom Brokaw. He's a commentator, news reporter, and all that stuff. And this must have been a book that he. I haven't read this. The Greatest Generation. So, anyways, there. This stuff can be on display so people can walk up here and take a look at it. So, Lillian Myers. What's Lillian got going on?
Oh, yeah. What's in there? Oh, you're gonna.
Jesse Ventura.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. We won't get into whether you're for or against, okay?
Wow.
In like a lion, out like a lamb, in my opinion. But
This is just a church song that was donated by Earl Hatton.
and they're only good. While they're good, they're great. So the Vikings. This made headline news. Gary Anderson, who was a pretty famous kicker, he missed one too many, and they booted him. That's what this article was about.
That was the last Viking game I ever watched.
When he got the boot, you said
That was it. That was it.
All right. All right, somebody's glasses. You guys got wait a minute. The eye care place, Carol Miller.
Oh,
She did a great job there at the eye care. Yeah, see those things in here. Yeah, dry cleaners. Chamber of Commerce's directory. City of Fridley's their recreation letter at the time, or their pamphlet. Got a couple of those. This is a commemoration of the first 50 years, Fridley's 50th anniversary. So this would be great to look through that.
Yep.
Somebody kept letters. This is from Tom Meyer. Is this from everybody that wrote
No.
letters? It's bound up.
It's a laptop.
Okay, this. I don't even know what this is.
It's a laptop.
Texas.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is. It's
a
a
laptop.
travel mate. Huh? Is this supposed to be like the first
It's a
GP?
laptop.
So that's a laptop?
Yes.
Okay. Even predates me, I think. Fridley Tigers.
Go Tigers.
And go Tigers, right? Sandy's Restaurant. Everybody remember Sandy's, right?
Yes.
And Gary Brown is still around, and I golf with him every once in a while. He's retired. The Shorewood, now known as Crooners, right?
Yep.
And Ricky's Embers. He's got an awful lot of paraphernalia there. This must be the cord for the.
Yeah, all right.
You want to plug it in and see if it works?
Yeah, let's find out what's on there. Yeah.
Hey, area maps, Fridley map. I used to use this all the time for my campaigns. I sectioned off the city. I highlighted where I visited, where I had yet to visit, sign locations. This map worked wonders for me. Of course, it's a little old school now. You got everything on a computer, you know, all the addresses. I found that to be a lot more work than putting a dot on a map than typing all that in. I guess I'm showing my age now.
These are all letters from different Fridley residents, just talking about growing up or working, living in Fridley over the years.
Wow. Those would be interesting.
Yeah.
And this is Nanook, the
Beanie Baby.
Beanie Baby.
Yeah.
Very popular in the day, now not worth anything. Let's see, we got lots of stuff. John Meyer, I'm gonna open that and see
Alright.
what's in there. You know, hey, this safe has got a lot of stuff in here.
95% pass around the
Sure.
Got a cellular phone in this box here.
A lot of business cards in here. The former mayor's card is in here, Nancy Jorgensen. My business card's in here, along with a lot of other ones. Businesses from the area.
Yeah.
How many remember what our motto used to be about Fridley? Top of the
North.
close, not correct. Anybody know? Come on, I gave you the first part of it. Top of the Twin Cities. There used to be a billboard on the north end of where Walmart is now.
Here's a little known fact that says the glitter of the North Star State. So the police department had some orange patches made, and unfortunately when they stitched it, it looked like it said the gutter in the North Star State. So they only wore those patches for 2 years and then they got rid of them. We have one on display in the police room.
Here is some letters of endorsement or whatever for Formays, France, which was our sister city. It kind of died on the vine during, when was that? They had a war? No, I don't remember why, what the deal was there. We used to, well, the French used to call us, we took turns who was calling who at the New Year, right? Well, they always open a bottle of champagne and all that stuff, whereas we couldn't drink at the city hall, so we pretended it was champagne, but it was basically bottled water or Perrier or something. So, you know, you got to be politically correct, right? But that kind of lost. You know, it was great in the time, and
Yeah, didn't they take tours there? Some kids went to Formies and Formies kids
yep,
came
they had
here.
some foreign exchange students both ways. We'd send one, and they would send somebody.
These are just some old grocery ads from Target, Snyder's, Menards, Home Depot, Petco.
This isn't even. You want to rip that open? It
Alright.
says it's for the time capsule, but what it is, I don't know.
hoping it was money.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here, so I'm not gonna go through it all, but lots of, well, Fridley Public Schools.
There's a package in.
Just an article
Calendar?
from the Star and Tribune about jobless rate in the United States.
There's an advertisement for Hubert H. Humphrey's bubblegum cigars. Yeah, something all right. There's all kinds of stuff.
Alright.
Monens gave us a cab. I know that's now Cummins
Yep,
Power Generation.
yep.
Joe DiMaggio's. Sure y'all remember Joe DiMaggio's. Essay contest. Lots of stuff to look through here. Somebody gave that to me. It's got my name on it. We've got a couple of these already. This Lillian Myers donated that.
These are all essays by different students, one of the
Is that
schools
what it
here.
is?
Yeah.
Electronics.
Those are the ones we need.
Open that. Somebody must have liked sealing them at the time, huh?
Yes.
This is all from Monens, what they were doing at the time. So, you know, they've always been big on generators, right? So, you know that they have changed their facility, about 50% of the facility has been completely renovated, remodeled, changed to build their newest machinery. They're the first in the United States to build this piece of equipment. Does anybody know what that is? The President of the United States was here last year to announce the great work of Cummins Generation Power. Called an electrolyzer.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen, right. They are now capturing hydrogen. So hydrogen is using lots of water, which I question them. I mean, our precious resource, and they're going to use a lot of water. And what it does is, hydrogen is the H in H2O. So they take water, they separate the atoms, they take the hydrogen out of H2O, and they're putting it in pressurized tanks. And that they expect will be the future beyond EV vehicles, you know, electric cars. They're already starting on the next thing, and that's hydrogen. They expect to use it, their first applications will be for heavy equipment like semi-trucks, you know, diesels, a lot of military applications for all the military trucks, which are a lot of diesels and stuff. So that's the expectation. How successful, nobody knows, but they must have some big plans for it because Cummins has spent a lot of money, and so has the U.S. government has supported it because it's in its infancy. They do make hydrogen cells elsewhere, but nobody manufactures them in the U.S. until Cummins. So they've got hopefully a bright future with the latest technology.
Medtronic donated a pacemaker.
Oh, really? Wow.
And that's probably huge in 25 years ago. It's probably about a tenth of that size now. American Legion, Springbrook, a lot of Springbrook stuff. Alamo School, boy, a lot of people got involved in this. Longview Fiber Company, they're still around. Lamar, no longer around. We're gonna get down to the bottom, folks. Here's a narration of the anniversary video. Here was the local newspaper back then. I think the one that I got shared with you here, the color one, is a lot sharper. But I'm sure the cost is a lot greater too.
I'm sure.
What's in this heavy little gizmo? Springbrook Nature Center, 1999, Sia St. Clair, found beneath NSP high tension electric power and wires in northwest corner of Springbrook Nature Center. Oh, it's an insulator, an electrical insulator. It's only a portion of it.
Yeah.
Ceramic, heavy. It feels more like concrete. I don't know how much this story will. This is interesting. This is
Oh.
a skeleton. What do you think that is? Nobody's gonna guess it. So, a gray fox. We found that, I think, in Springbrook too. Hit by a car on 85th Avenue in front of Springbrook Nature Center back in 1984. A gray fox was observed chasing squirrels at the Nature Center on September 16, 1999. Sia St. Clair donated that, who was the director until his retirement. That's an interesting
Very
piece.
cool, yeah.
Very interesting.
Yes.
A pair of glasses. Oh, no, a watch. Cummins.
Yeah.
Cummins has a commemorative watch.
All right.
The American Legion's newsletters. Ben Gillian.
Yearbook?
Yeah, it's a yearbook. It's pretty interesting.
99 yearbook.
Yeah. And what is this one here? Minnesota Highway West 99. Oh, that's a little applicable, huh? It's also another yearbook.
Yeah. Oh, it's from Totino Grace.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah. Totino Grace yearbook. Which we don't have very many in our collection, so this is huge.
Yeah.
This must be from Bud Dolphin. Happy 50th anniversary, Fridley. I'm going to read this. I'm sure this is from Bud Dolphin.
Don,
Bud
take a
Dolphin
picture of that and send it to
married to
Bud.
Marcia Shaw from Shaw Floral. And he's been kind of a poem guy, you know.
He's a great poem guy.
Yeah. He's been, so bear with me, I'll read it here. I gotta make sure I rhyme it, otherwise I won't do justice.
Show it. We're gonna send a picture to Bud with it.
Yeah, that's great.
He's sick.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's looking pretty weak, quite frankly.
He's
Show that one more time.
Pardon me? All right, if you guys aren't in a hurry, I'll read it to you. Well, folks, I'm 50 years old, so I guess we know how old he is now. But I'm really quite proud, and many of you here have always been part of my crowd. You took me from sandy fields and laid in the sod. You built businesses and housing, taking time to worship God. You are wonderful and caring, looking out for the poor. When school children were needy, Betty Bacon would knock on their door. The school leaders knew that she would come through. She'd find them warm clothes while keeping herself out of view. Sandberg Gulch, they would call me, but I held my head high. The leadership I've been given causes other cities to just sigh. I had mayors Kirkham and Liebel when I was still young. Then Mayor Nee came along, and my growth really sprung. For 20-some years, he guided my ship. Sometimes it got rocky, but I didn't tip. I fought with tornadoes, harsh ones a time or two, but we all worked together, and all of us came through. My schools are the best, with graduates far and wide. They've attended the finest colleges. Yes, I am full of pride. There have been many people, but one all of you know. His name was John Gargaro. He really helped me grow. He helped start my annual parade. We 49ers are quite proud. Folks knew when we were coming, with our guns blazing loud. John helped the children, coaching each and every sport. They called him Mr. Fridley. John believed in total support. I can't forget my service clubs, the Kiwanis, Rotary, and more. American Legion and the VFW, and those lions that roar. They've all helped me grow, and their support is always there. People, helping because they care. And would I be remiss not to mention some friends like Onan and Medtronics? Their support never ends. Bob's Produce and Chef Floral, and the former Fridley State Bank, all helpful citizens, if I may be so frank. And who records my history now that I'm middle-aged? It's the Fridley Historical Society, recording page after page. And into the time capsule, this rhyme will be placed. And in 25 years, my history will again be retraced. And many of you young folks who have stepped up to the plate and become civic leaders, oh yes, I can hardly wait. Just keep this one thought in mind, if you will. Lend a helping hand, you'll find it's really a thrill. Bud Dolphin, 1999. I think it was a good poem.
Very nice.
Very cool. Apparently I must have been one of those young ones that got involved, huh? Latino Grace High School. Must have been in the folder or something. And then we have a couple of VHS tapes. 50th anniversary video history.
Oh.
Pokemon. Has this got gum in it? I was going to say it's pretty stale, huh?
Very expensive.
For the city council meeting, oh, that must have been a report. But that was, it was 5 hours and 35 minutes long.
Oh, wow.
It must have been really long-winded that night. Okay, we got a little bit more. Hang on. Community worship service, St. Philip's, must be taped. Essay contest. Some people wrote some essay contest about 50th anniversary. Real Sunday paper that was quite large back
Wow.
then.
Oh.
With the usual many advertisements. That's all that is the paper.
That's huge.
See, I get somebody threw some money in here. Maybe that's not obsolete yet. Some pennies. That's it. That's all I see.
There's a penny.
It's a Georgia commemorative quarter.
So it is. A brand new shiny penny, huh?
Yeah.
And I think they say, obviously, they probably say 1999 on it. That's it. They must have thought 25 years later they were going to be obsolete. They just about are. Not much value to them. Well, that's what's in it. You're welcome to peruse this, the items on the table, and some very interesting items there. And like I said, I'll add as the committee might determine if it's valuable enough for preservation. It's
Yep.
great.
Put it in there. Thank you very much.
It's been a real pleasure once again to be mayor here for 24 years. And I'm hopeful that they'll carry on in good fashion because I think I've tried to do a good job, and I'm just hopeful that they will continue to go down the correct path for Fridley for the benefit of the community. So, but not to fear. I'll be knocking on a lot of doors even after my term is over with because of the Public Art Foundation. So hopefully that's just pie in the sky at this point, but we already do have one piece of public art that's going to be created and installed yet this fall at the new Moore Lake Park. So, and hopefully you folks have been over there. It's, you know, if you build it, they will come. And people really are using that park now that we've made major renovations to it. So there's going to be a piece of art there, and the Rice Creek Watershed obviously had a small grant money of $6,000, but of course the artist has come up with ideas at $16,000. So already I've reached out and already got a willing donor for $10,000 to offset the public art It will work. Well, yeah, so it won't happen overnight, but over time, look for public art for the, thank you.
Feel free to have some coffee and snacks. The museum upstairs is open until 5 o'clock today, so take your time. Don't forget the Fridley Parade tonight.